How you doing, guys? Okay, we're gonna go over Apple's keynote address. They came out with some new software, some new hardware, all very exciting. And first thing we're gonna talk about is Mavericks, which is 10.9 of the Mac OS 10 operating system, which is now free, by the way. I think you do have to have like Mountain Lion or something like that, so it should cover most recent fairly recent versions. Now there's a lot of under the hood stuff I'm going to cover first. First thing is they have compressed memory, which is going to be great for things like laptops and their MacBook Airs, because I do have one 2010 MacBook Air 11-inch. It only has 2 gigs of RAM, so this should be perfect for this. Something that I didn't realize, but it was in the keynote, auto allocation of video RAM and system RAM. What that's going to mean is on most integrated graphic chips, the system memory or RAM is shared by the GPU. So some of it's kind of taken away. So if you're not necessarily using a GPU intensive program, it will actually reduce the video RAM and allow more RAM for applications. Now, all dependent on various things, obviously. Something also I didn't know, OpenCL to integrated graphics. That means certain applications can use integrated graphics to process certain applications. It could be Final Cut Pro or 10 or whatever. Obviously, it's going to be kind of limited than dedicated video graphic, something like you'd see in a Mac Pro or something like that. Also new is going to be maps on the desktop that it uses the same data that you find on the iOS version. Now, I don't think it's nearly ready yet. It might work for some people, but it's not quite as comprehensive as Google Maps are. Obviously, Google's been doing it for something like almost a decade, so not quite up to par yet. But they still need develop it. Also, new iBooks on the desktop, which people have been waiting for. This would be more comprehensive for laptops than desktops reading books, but also with the new updated iBook Author, it will allow you to, if you're making an ebook or iBook, you can view it on iBooks for Mac without having to necessarily put it on an iPad, which the previous version did. You can only preview your iBook on an iBooks Author on an iPad or possibly a iPhone. Okay, they also have a MacBook Pro out. The 13-inch is 3.5 pounds, 0.71 inches thick, and up to 9 hours of battery life. It utilizes also kind of new PCIe based flash. Instead of, it's much faster than, like, say, through a SATA port. 128 gigabytes of flash. Also new, the 802.11 AC Wi-Fi is going to be used. Thunderbolt 2, which is 20 gigabits per second. The pricing is going to change as well. From $14.99 base model to $12.99. 15-inch is $21.99. Lowered down to $19.99. 8 gigabytes of memory, standard. Some more information on the Mac Pro. You're going to use Thunderbolt 2, of course. Also, the HDMI standard is going to be used as 1.4. It's going to allow for use of 4K TVs. I think up to 3, I believe, off the top of my head. Finally, the base price has been released. $2,999, starting off with a quad core. Supposedly it's also going to be much quieter. In fact, it's not going to be any louder than a Mac Mini, which is about 12 dB noise from the machine. Also updated as well is the iLife series. Finally, all 64-bit, which is going to be important for iMovie because it allows it to use more than 4 gigabytes of RAM on a system. Occasionally, I do use iMovie, even though I use Final Cut Pro 10. And one time I imported a very large video file, which pretty much it sucked because I didn't have enough RAM to import it properly. Plus 2, iLife is free as always with new versions of anytime you buy a new Mac, obviously the new iLife. Also, if you had you bought this separately or even the DVD version like I did, all the updates are free, and which is going to be great. Now also with iWork, obviously 64-bit as well, free on new iOS devices as well, and the Mac version. If you have the Mac version as well, those updates are going to be free. Now, if you don't have iWork to begin with, then you're going to have to be paid for. Now, I do recently got a new, well, it's not new, it was a used Mac Pro Quad Core, which it was already came pre-installed with iWorks 909, and so I got a free upgrade on that. But I was wondering, well, how about my other Macs? Do I get that as well? So I checked, and yes, I could download the full new version of iWorks, which is Pages, Numbers, and so on, all that for free on my other device. So wow, Apple's really getting good with their software. Now with the iPad, iPad Air, Retina's coming out 9.7. The bezel is 3% thinner, 7.5 millimeters thick, at 1 pound. Of course, it uses the new A7 chip, and okay, some of this I'm not even sure of. So yeah, wow, this has really been great. Keynote. I've been testing Mavericks for a while. I believe Mavericks is great. It's kind of like what I considered Snow Leopard, because many believe that Snow Leopard, of course, prior to Mavericks, was one of the best ones that the most recent best ones they came out with. And when Line and Mount Line came out, I was happy with the new features, but I don't know, I wasn't really totally happy until I've been using Mavericks now for a week, or since it's been out, and it seems like the new Snow Leopard. Great software, memory management, everything. It's a very good must-have upgrade, obviously free as well.